Today we're going to show you how to create a Windows 10 USB recovery drive. I just updated to the Windows 10 anniversary version, and I want to have the ability to recover the system if for whatever reason it will not boot. So I want to create a USB bootable drive with all the necessary files on it. The several articles that I have read say that even though in most cases it says that an 8 gigabyte USB stick drive will be sufficient, it's recommended that you get a 16 gig. Now a 16 gig, the ones that I purchased for my various computers, you need one for each computer, was about $6 or $7 for USB 3. If you want a USB 2, you can get them for $5 or even less than $5. So the difference between an 8 gigabyte and a 16 gigabyte really doesn't make a big difference. I also on the screen have a timer so we can see how long it takes, and we're going to cut out part of the creation time, and so you'll see exactly how much we cut out. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, and then I'm going to come down here to where it says ask me anything. In other words, the search. If you're using 8.1, you would go to the far right hand corner and find the search area, and then we're going to just type in recovery. You will see the top choice there is create a recovery drive. We're going to click on that, and it says you want to allow this app to make changes to your device, and I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Okay, now it comes up and says create a recovery drive. Even if your PC can't start, you can use the recovery drive to reset it or troubleshoot problems. If you back up system files to this drive, you'll also be able to use it to reinstall Windows. So we're going to back up the system files to the recovery drive, and I believe that comes defaulted to be unchecked. Make sure you check it. And I'm going to go to next. Now it's searching for a drive. I do have my USB 16 gigabyte Kingston stick plugged in. So it's looking to see where it can create a recovery drive. Remember that whatever recovery drive it finds to do this on, it is going to delete everything that's on that drive. So don't use one that you have some files stored that you want to keep. So it's continuing to look. It does take a little bit to find it. Okay, we cut out a little bit of the waiting time. You can see with the time clock on the left how long it's actually taken us. It's found the Kingston USB stick, and it's saying that okay, that's what it can do it to. And it needs to hold at least 8. It needs to be at least 8 gigabytes. Again, I recommend 16 gigabyte in case that number should be larger. And make sure that you have enough room in the future for it if you ever need to do it again. So it's we click on next. Everything on the drive will be deleted. It warns you. If you have any personal files on this drive, make sure you've backed them up, and you click on create. It formatted the drive. Now it's copying the utilities. Now it's copying the system. Okay, it took well over an hour and a half. I cut out a lot of the time because all it did was make that green line go till the end. And now the recovery drive is ready. Why don't we click on finish? And that's it. It's done. So if you're unable to boot into Windows 10 for any reason, you can boot from this recovery drive and get a menu of advanced options to help troubleshoot the problem and get your system up and running. Obviously, if I reboot, the recording will stop. So just I'll try to get a screenshot of the options that you will have, but they will include, the advanced options will include a system restore, a system image recovery, automatic repair, command prompt, a UEFI firmware settings, or the Windows startup settings will be the choices you'll have. And that's it. But I now have a recovery drive on a USB stick. Thanks for watching, and except for waiting for it to complete, it's fairly painless. I have booted up in using the recovery disk, and the screen that shows up, the first screen that shows up is this, and when I click on the keyboard layout, I want the US. So as soon as I click on that, I get a screen option either to troubleshoot or turn off the PC, and we're going to troubleshoot. So when we click on the troubleshoot, it says recover from a drive. You reinstalls Windows from the recovery drive connected to this PC. This will remove all of your files and apps. Or advanced options. When I click on advanced options, I can do a system restore using the restore point recorded on the PC to restore the Windows. I can use a system image recovery using a specific system image file, which I have not produced, but if I had, I could do that. I could do the startup repair, which would fix problems that keep Windows from loading. In other words, it's going to go out, check the system, and because this recovery disk has all of the files for the system, it will try to repair using the files that it has. We could also, if we know what we're doing and we have a set way in which we have to go in and fix something, from a command prompt, we can drop to the command prompt by clicking on that box, or we can go back to the previous build, which if you're running the anniversary issue, the anniversary update, you have 10 days from the day in which you did the update to go back to the previous build. After 10 days, you're not going to be able to do that anyway. So those are the choices, and that's what I get when I boot from that recovery USB stick that I just created.